Support for Just Seen It comes from Warner Archive Instant. Streaming hard-to-find movies and TV shows direct from the studio at WarnerArchiveInstant.com. Support for Just Seen It comes from Acorn, distributors of the detective drama Jack Taylor, starring Game of Thrones Ian Glenn. More information is available at acornonline.com/PTV. It seemed like a regular day for Gerry Lane and his family, but a massive viral outbreak begins turning humans into zombies.
Is this thing worldwide? Is anyone doing better than we are?
He must race to find a cure in order to save his family, himself, and the world in World War Z.
Hi, I'm Salim.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Brenna, and we're here to talk about the much-anticipated World War Z. We've all just seen it. Who wants to start us off?
Well, the script was written by a number of people, Matthew Michael Carnahan, J. Michael Straczynski, and then they brought in the Lost guys, Drew Goddard and Damon Lindelof.
I have been concerned with this movie since its inception. World War Z is a book written by Max Brooks, and that book is very difficult to adapt into a film. Sure. It went from being $170 million, ballooning into over $200 million because they needed a last act. They had no last act, so they brought in Lindelof and Drew Goddard to help out with that.
The story it's a decent story, particularly with such difficult stuff to adapt. You have to realize that this is not World War Z, the book. What it does is scale. We've never seen it on such a huge scale, and that's really what's phenomenal about this film. The story is really flimsy. This ex-UN employee, Gerry Lane, is traveling the world trying to find the origin and attempts to find a cure. It's a very bare-bones story for 3 reasons. To keep the PG-13 rating, to be able to easily distribute it internationally, and to not take away from the spectacle.
I think this film works particularly because of its breakneck pace. It's not necessarily about after the apocalypse, it's in the thick of it, it's ground zero. In some parts it's a little jarring because none of these characters really have any time to breathe or think about or talk about what's going on, but you realize that that's necessary. If there is any second thought, these guys are gonna die, they have to keep going, keep going, keep going.
Right. There's not a heck of a lot you can do with zombies. I mean, with vampires, there's different styles you can take. With werewolves, but with zombies, they can either run fast or run slow. It can be contained or it can be global.
It could have been so much more.
Exactly.
But because they're trying to keep it accessible for an international audience, for a young audience, they missed out on a lot of opportunities. Zombie movies usually have themes. 28 Days Later deals with religion and spirituality. Dawn of the Dead deals with consumerism. This one could have looked at global politics. It could have looked at the issue of globalization. Instead, those things are just excuses to be able to see zombies on a big scale instead of actually addressing any of these issues. And Brad Pitt is our star, and he also got a producing credit. And I think that he absolutely carries this film. The story is so flimsy, you need somebody of his caliber to be able to save it in the scenes when we don't have spectacle.
There isn't much to the character. I mean, he's fine, and he has that hunky kind of like, I'm gonna go save the world thing, but it's an everyman look as well. There was a point where I don't think the movie's boring, but I got tired because I wasn't emotionally invested, because I wanted something more. I mean, he drops his family off on a tanker or whatever, and we never see them again except for her answering the phone all the time.
I thought it was important because we have Mireille, Enos, who plays his wife, and she's on the boat, and there are times where she wants to call him, but he is obviously involved in many tense situations that she has no clue about. And I think that's great because she's not playing this wife who's at home, who's crying, waiting for her husband.
Marc Forster does more exciting filmmaking with a PG-13 rating than most people do with an R.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I thought he did a great job. He did Quantum of Solace, and not a lot of people like that one as much, but he is great with actors. He's also done movies like Finding Neverland, so it's interesting to be able to see his handle on characters, but also being able to get this tension and this world and the scale.
Yeah, he does really well with tension and suspense, and I don't think a lot of directors today really know how to milk that for what it can be milked.
Yeah, I can honestly not tell you the last time a film has made me that nervous for that long.
The noise. Are they drawn to it?
Yeah. Sound draws them.
You fought any yet? Philly, Newark.
Good.
it was a proper building of the suspense. For example, Gerry is on the top of a roof and he's holding a door, keeping from zombies from coming out. We've seen something like that before, but he only has 3 seconds to go from the door to jump onto this helicopter. And in those 4 seconds, you're like, oh, you know he's gonna make it.
No,
but
he's
it's
gonna make it.
extremely tense.
Let's talk about the CGI in this. I thought it was actually really good.
Yeah, the trailers looks silly. Like, I would laugh at the trailers, but seeing it on the big screen, it's like, this is actually really good.
Yeah, no, I was completely concerned about the CGI. I thought they were gonna look like the Smiths from Matrix Reloaded. I was pleasantly surprised and very happy that it did not look that bad.
And I think it's filmed too so that it's really so fast that you almost can't see if there is any flaws anyway because it's going at such a breakneck pace.
I mean, I would like to pause it and see just for fun, but as you see it all happening, just swarms of them running over each other, it looks realistic.
Yeah. World War Z doesn't really reinvent the zombie genre, but it's an entertaining spectacle, so I would say see it.
World War Z could have been so much more, but it's great for what it is. Simple, mindless summer fun. See it.
World War Z is the biggest zombie movie ever created. The suspense and set pieces make you forget the missteps. Definite see it.
Cheers.
Cheers!
World War Z doesn't really reinvent the genre, but it's an entertaining.
Got it.
Support for Just Seen It comes from Acorn, distributors of the detective drama Jack Taylor, starring Game of Thrones Ian Glenn. More information is available at acornonline.com/PTV. Support for Just Seen It comes from Warner Archive Instant, streaming hard-to-find movies and TV shows direct from the studio at WarnerArchiveInstant.com.